So our topic was Sexuality and Intimacy within Older Persons by Jessica, Trinity, and Briley.
Sexuality encompasses many different forms of personal behavior. Sexuality includes sex, gender identities, gender roles, sexual orientation, pleasure, intimacy, and reproduction. Additionally, the ability to communicate love, show affection, admiration, and loyalty is made possible by sexuality. It can also improve communication and personal development. Intimacy is more comprehensive than sexuality. It includes the need for close friendships, relationships with family, friends, and formal caregivers. Although desires for intimacy with one another fluctuate throughout time, maintaining fulfilling social ties in an intimate relationship is crucial for healthy aging and remains a part of intimacy. These concepts are important because sexuality in the older adult shifts its focus from procreation to an emphasis on companionship, physical nearness, and intimate communication. For many, non-sexual intimacy is equally as important as physical. By recognizing this, we can provide the support that older adults need during this time. Nurses focus on providing a supportive and non-judgmental environment. They may consider factors like changes in sexual desire, physical abilities, and hormonal levels. They also address common concerns such as body image, self-esteem, and the impact of chronic illnesses or medications on an individual. Nurses may provide education, guidance, and resources to help older adults maintain healthy and fulfilling intimate relationships. Nurses must recognize age-related changes such as hormonal shifts, physical limitations, and chronic conditions. These can significantly impact sexual function. Nurses must provide education on these changes and offer guidance in maintaining intimacy and adapting sexual practices to accommodate any physical limitations. By addressing these issues in older adults, nurses can promote sexual well-being and the overall quality of life.
The first misconception is that older adults are not sexually active or interested in sex. However, although the frequency of sexual activity declines with age, older adults are still sexually active. Sexual interest in this population is high, and 2/3 of seniors said that they were interested in sex and that is important to their quality of life. Another false belief is that sexual expression in older adults is taboo. Sexuality should not be a taboo topic in this generation, and attitudes towards sexuality later in life have changed in recent years. The growing elderly population has more positive attitudes towards sexuality compared to previous generations. The consequences of these false beliefs throw negative stereotypes onto the older populations and may produce feelings of shame and guilt and can cause many different mental health challenges. Sex and sexual orientation among older adults is seen as shameful, disgusting, and non-existent, which can lead to internalized stigma and decreased sexual problems and can be very damaging. Aging always comes with challenges, but for LGBTQ+ individuals, the journey into older age is especially daunting. Given that aging services are generally designed and delivered without taking into account the existence of LGBTQ+ elders, it is no surprise that they have tremendous difficulty finding appropriate support in communities that relate to them. Within the LGBTQ+ community, aging issues may not be prioritized, resulting in the lack of valued role for older lesbians and gay men. Such experiences, combined with a history of stigmatization, can subject older LGBTQ+ people to increased risk of depression, substance misuse, unnecessary institutionalization, and premature death. Unfortunately, older adults often avoid seeking help for sexual concerns due to sexual stigma, including lack of knowledge about their sexual problems, embarrassment, or discomfort with talking about sex, and stigma-related beliefs such as sex in older age is inappropriate or something that should not be discussed with anybody.
There are multiple challenges related to intimacy within older people. Some things are just a positive social policy, lack of research, difficulties finding a partner, relationship factors, and psychological factors. It has been suggested that sexuality continues throughout our lifetime and changes throughout. Today, youth intimacy is seen as good quality, as within older people we do not hear about it as much. And there's also a lack of potential partners for women over 75 who are divorced, widowed, or single. Dementia with older people is also a challenge, and loss of memory and other cognitive abilities. Social desirability may also be an issue within older people's intimacy. Some older people also may think it's too late to start a relationship with someone. So some things we can do to overcome challenges is being welcoming and open-minded, as thinking upon intimacy and sexuality of older people may be hard at first for some people, but once we are open-minded about it, I feel like more of older people will be asking for help. Also, asking for any concerns the older person may have can also be rewarding. So For questioning our current practice is a good method of reflection. So we can question if we have any biases against this. Are we providing safe and efficient care to all of them? Asking ourselves if we are doing the right thing. And why may seniors be scared to talk about sexuality and intimacy? And asking what the past was like for them. Because I know it's definitely not talked about a lot in our practices. So we can now link it back to our experience. In our experience, we have seen tons of LGBTQ plus and intimacy within residents, and more seniors have been coming out. It is not talked broadly upon, but it is our job to make it more known.